Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday the 23rd of October. So, where are we here then? Euro dollar finding a little bit of a bounce here. Where to? Well, realistically, we could be pitching up higher. We've got the daily pivot sitting above us at the moment, but overall I remain relatively bearish on this market, but can't ignore the short-term fact that we could be pitching up, as I say, towards that daily pivot of 1490. Now, has got some points of resistance before then in terms of the moving averages, but the 50 moving average is still quite flat here. And I mean, what we've seen over the last 2 days, I mean, Friday looked good, Monday didn't look so good. Is Tuesday going to look good? We'll see. For now, though, it seems to be from a bounce perspective, it seems like an obvious point to be looking for. I should just wait until post 8 o'clock. Now, as I said, it could find some resistance towards that 21, but it may form an area where I'd like to be shorting from back south. So we'll see how it develops this morning. The pound, and the pound closed through its trend line yesterday. It's triggered, to me, a bigger correction maybe here, potentially down towards that monthly S1 in the first place. However, short term again, there are some sort of signals here in terms of the consolidation, etc., which may see us form a bit of a bounce back towards its daily pivot there. Thereafter, be interesting to see what happens. It may just push on through. It's not very far relatively. May push it through into the 3450 sort of area, but would be looking potentially there in terms of short positioning. So we'll see how it runs through this morning. But at this stage, expecting maybe a pitch up there. It could just get stalled into the 6021, but expecting a bit of a pitch up first, and then I'll be looking short later, as I say, late morning maybe. Subject to the speed of price action. There's little in the way of data to create any volatility. Okay, dollar yen, let's have a look at the bigger picture here now. As I said, this always got the risk of if the equity market starts selling off, this seems to sell off as well, and well, we're heading down towards its weekly pivot as we speak here. It's not that far away from it now. It's still in a slight upward trajectory, with high lows, higher highs through that, so it'll be interesting to see how it reacts at that point. This is the one that, as I said in the weekly update, there's the risk off, and which we could see it start breaking south. But if we see the other markets rallying, maybe we'll see this softening a little bit if risk comes back into the market. Aussie dollar, as expected, is continued in this weakness. I said yesterday in the weekly update that it started looking weak with these candles here, and for sure it's heading back south towards the lows there. It's not far off of the lows now, and with the sentiment etc. around it, could be dipping further. But for this morning, well, there is a potential, slight divergence where what we're seeing here at the moment. We could see it push towards the 21, we could see it push even further, and if the other markets start getting up a little bit strong and see a bit of dollar weakness, well, there's certainly a target there. But again, even if it gets to that sort of position, it's then looking for weakness and maybe a sell-off. Canadian dollar in its expanding wedge pattern here. It once again got close to ran into the resistance line there. The more it taps on it, the more likely it's going to push through it. I did a little bit of analysis last night, actually some further analysis, and looking at that wedge pattern, and well, even if it just sort of if it breaks through and gets back to the prior highs, there's a few points in it, but there's potentially, from the measurements etc., on a one-to-one basis, we could sort of well, see it running up if it breaks beyond the highs there, towards the 136 area, probably potentially anyway. But that's a long way off at the moment. Let's just see if it can break it, which would trigger the idea. But at the moment, certainly high lows, high highs. Now we have got the weekly pivot below, which may be a draw to the downside. If a break of this, the trend from the lows here may sort of signal that sort of movement. I'd like to see that weekly pivot out of the way, because the statistical probability of it being hit. But if price does kick on, well, and break through, then may be interested in a bit more of a swing position on this to the upside. Okay, that's pretty much it for me. News-wise today, we've had speakers this morning already. We've got an MPC speaker due to speak about policy experiments in new approach to economic challenges seminar series. Oh, that's going to be marvellous. Watch out for nothing happening at 11:30 then. And then at 4:20 we've got our good old governor. It's not really our governor, he's just standing in for a governor really, of the Bank of England, due to speak about artificial intelligence and the world economy. Another sparkling speech expected at 4:20, but we won't be around to sit and watch that. So have a good day. I'll speak to you tomorrow. Bye for now.